not going to be president, we'll stop it. What do you think the it is in that phrase, we'll stop it?
Oh, I think it's clear from the context. We're going to stop him from becoming president.
That's what I thought, too. Now, I wonder who the we is.
Well, I think that's probably subject to multiple interpretations.
We'll see if we can go through a couple of them.
Or a broader group beyond that.
I mean, it's hard to fathom a definition of we that doesn't include him. So we know he's part of we. You could assume that the person he's talking with is FBI attorney who also happens to be working on the Russia investigation. She may be part of the we. But I wonder, Inspector General, did you find any other FBI agents or FBI attorneys who manifest any animus or bias against President Trump?
We did.
How many?
We found 3 additional FBI agents, as we detail in the report.
Now, next, and this is really important, Chairman Gowdy questioned Horowitz over his findings that there was no material evidence of political bias. Meanwhile, the document is filled with political bias in terms of corrupt in the FBI investigations. They're both corrupt. They both were run by biased people. You can't have that in the United States, especially one that's impacting a presidential election. Take a look.
They prejudged the outcome of the Hillary Clinton investigation before the investigation ended, and these exact same FBI agents and attorneys prejudged the outcome of the Russia investigation before it even began. If prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it ends and prejudging the outcome of an investigation before it begins is not evidence of outcome determinative bias, for the life of me, I don't know what would be. That is textbook bias. It is quite literally the definition of bias, allowing something other than the facts to determine your decision. These agents were calling her president before she was even interviewed. They were calling for the end of the Trump campaign before the investigation even began. They were calling for impeachment simply because he happened to be elected. That is bias.
This is the very definition of bias. Exactly. Now, we know that the anti-Trump political influence here that sparked this entire Russia investigation in the first place, thank God, it is rightly under review because it's illegitimate, was from day one, and needs to end. Period. End of sentence. This has been a politically biased witch hunt from the get-go. Watch this.
The infamous text from Peter Strzok saying, "We will stop President Trump from taking office," which we received on the day of your report's release, is a prime example. This text was revealed to you late in your interview as well, as I understand. Do you believe this text shows political bias?
I think, as we found, it clearly shows a biased state of mind.
And if so, do you believe the political bias shown by this text had an effect on the initiation of the Russia investigation?
I think, as you know, Mr. Chairman, that's a matter we've got under review and are looking at right now.
More to be determined on that.
More to be determined.
But the time proximity, as Mr. Gowdy pointed out, is significant.
Correct. In fact, there are these other text messages in roughly the same time period.
Unbelievable. Now, we'll have more on that huge development in just a minute. But first, take a look at this clip of Chairman Gowdy turning his attention to Horowitz's findings about the disgraced former FBI Director James Comey. Remember, he was the leader of the pack. Take a look at these blistering remarks.
We see Jim Comey and Jim Comey alone deciding which DOJ policies to follow and which to ignore. When he lost confidence in the Trump Justice Department, he memorialized private conversations, he leaked them, and he admitted he did so to spur the appointment of special counsel because he didn't trust the career prosecutors at the Department of Justice. When he lost confidence in the Obama Justice Department, he didn't make special memos. He didn't share them with his law professor friends. He didn't leak the information. He didn't lift a finger to get special prosecutor. Instead, he appointed himself FBI director, attorney general, special counsel, lead investigator, and the general arbiter of what is good and right in the world, according to him.
And, of course, indignant Jim Comey was rightfully fired. Now, even crooked Comey himself is under investigation. Why? For mishandling classified information. Ironically, the very crime he exonerated Hillary Clinton over. Yeah, the year of the boomerang. And let's be clear, none of this is normal. James Comey's FBI is in ruins. Watch this.
Mr. Horowitz, James Comey, Director of the FBI, Andy McCabe, Deputy Director, Chief of Staff Jim Rybicki, General Counsel Jim Baker, FBI Counsel Lisa Page, and Deputy Head of Counterintelligence Peter Strzok. These were 6 important people at the FBI, is that right?
Correct.
And they were the key players on the Clinton investigation and on the Russian investigation, correct?
They were certainly important on both.
Has Mr. Comey been fired?
Yes.
Has Mr. McCabe been fired?
Yes.
Did Mr. McCabe lie under oath, according to your report?
In our view, yes.
Yeah, is there a criminal referral for Mr. McCabe?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Has Mr. Rybicki left the FBI?
Yes.
Has General Counsel Jim Baker left the FBI?
Yes.
Was he removed from his position prior to leaving the FBI?
I'm not sure of that.
Has Lisa Page left the FBI?
Yes.
Was she reassigned prior to leaving the FBI?
I believe so.
And has Peter Strzok been removed from his position as Deputy Head of Counterintelligence?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Horowitz, you've been in the DOJ for 10 years. You've been Inspector General for 6 years. You're chief of all the Inspector Generals. Have you ever seen anything like this at any other federal agency in your time in the federal government? 6 of the top people fired, demoted, reassigned, or left?
I obviously can't speak broadly to other areas that I haven't known before, but yes, this is.
I've been in this town 11 and a half years. I've never seen anything like this. Even the IRS scandal didn't come close.
Look at your screen. This represents all of the turnover surrounding the deep state's blatant effort to elect Hillary Clinton and destroy Donald Trump. He was never supposed to win. Now, by the way, this didn't go according to plan, obviously, and now America's sad, abusive federal bureaucracy, something we never thought could happen here, is being exposed, and the deep state crumbling right before our very eyes. Now, sadly, all of this is happening despite the best efforts from Deputy AG, Mr. Helpful, Mr. Obstruction, Rod Rosenstein. Take a look.
Mr. Rosenstein decided we couldn't get it until your report came out. He sat on it for a month of time.
I can't speak to how they.
Well, it's not the first time Mr. Rosenstein has kept us from getting information. I mean, he's hid information from us. He redacted all kinds of important conversations between Strzok and Page. He redacted that from us. We had to go over to the Justice Department and find it. So this wouldn't be the first time he hasn't given us information, frankly, I think we're entitled to. I want to well, I got 30 seconds. I don't have time to get into another subject area here. Mr. Horowitz, I appreciate that, but I do think it's interesting that you